What's up?
What's going on?
How's it going?
It's going great. These people are going to be so happy to see you. We're with a very special guest, my friends. We're with Matt Mahoney, and the reason he's here today, well, we just got off the water fishing, that's why, which you guys are going to see that video tomorrow. But probably one of the most asked questions and most requested videos that I get is a John boat tour. And the reason it's so important that he's here is because he built the deck. I give him 100% credit for this entire rig right here. This is the man.
You're too kind.
No, it's true. He literally did everything. I was the tool hander boy. That was me. So to start this off, we're going to talk about the John boat itself. This is a low 1448 T, and the T means that it's the taller transom. So it has a 20-inch transom, whereas the standard 1448, I want to say it's a 15-inch transom. So if you do decide to go with the 1448 T, your outboard needs to be a long shaft. We'll start here at the trolling motor, which, thanks to Motor Guide, they hooked me up with an 80-pound thrust X5, and awesome, love it. It runs off a 24-volt system, and it's like obviously a little bit overpowered for this boat, but it's nice to be able to just turn it up to 10 and like zip across a bank or zip across a cove real quick. Gets us up to like 3.5 miles an hour. I almost like, threw Matt off the boat like 14 times today, but it's really quick. And I mean, I definitely recommend that, like a little bit more powerful than you need maybe.
Definitely. Just
saves you time when you're fishing, especially if you're fishing a tournament or you're just trying to be out on the lake and cover water quickly. Definitely helps.
In the wind.
And then in the wind as well, yeah. That's definitely a big one. But we have a very custom made trolling motor mount here from this man himself. What was this? This is 3/8, right? We made the whole deck out of 3/8.
This whole thing's this is a 1/4 inch. All of this is 1/8 inch, and all the supports underneath are 1.5 by 1.5 by 1/8 inch aluminum angle iron. One of the things that he was talking about, where he said it's a T with the 20-inch transom, it's good to get the deeper boat because it gives you a deeper transom, right? Not a big deal, doesn't matter about that. But when you build the deck, you can put all your boxes upright, and it gives you a lot more storage space. So you don't have to put them sideways, you don't have to make your hatches as big, and you can hold more boxes in there. So if you guys are looking and considering getting a John boat, be cognizant of how deep it is for the boxes that are gonna go in there.
That's super smart. I've never even thought about that. It makes so much sense now, but we're going to show you guys the storage compartments too, and you can see kind of how I keep my tackle set up in there. And again, this is very bare bones. This was my kind of idea and design to keep it super bare bones because that's how we needed to do it for the 50 state tour, and that's just kind of my style, just keeping things super easy. But like if you compared this boat to Matt's boat, it's crazy how like detailed his is and how every hatch is its own hatch, and it's super sick. And we'll get to what I'm about to say later, but recessed trolling motor mount too, and this is, I don't think I could ever have another boat without it. It saves your back so much.
So fantastic.
It's insane. And this isn't one that we bought. Actually, Matt fabricated this one himself as well, and I think this was a 3-inch deep pan is what we did, right?
Yeah, I think 3 inches is what it was.
3-inch deep pan.
It's going to be different for each pedal. Like my Ultrax is different than his Motor Guide, and you know, you could measure it, but basically when you sit in it, you just want the top of the pedal to be slightly above the top of this pan, so that way you can put your foot on there and it's not stepping down, you're not sitting at an angle. So yeah, we just measured it based off of what his Motor Guide was.
That's perfect. And one thing that I definitely, I don't want to say regret doing, but I definitely told Matt I want it here. This is right where I want it. But after fishing out of this boat for 48 states and then some, I think if it was another, I don't know, 8 inches to almost all the way to the front, it just would have been a little bit better. Could have utilized a little bit more space behind. And that's definitely something that I think you warned me about when we were doing it. You're like, you sure you want it there? Are you sure you want it there? And I was very adamant, just like, yeah, I want it right there. I want some space in the front. Don't remember why, but that's kind of just how I was feeling at the time. But that's another thing to keep in mind if you do go with the recessed trolling motor tray. Open them up. We got 2 different storage boxes, and like I said, I keep it pretty bare bones. This is actually a live well, so I don't know if it's all John boats or just Lowe's specifically, but they do have this bench seat made with a live well where at the bottom you can plug it up if you want, which is what I do because I keep it for storage. And got some plastics in there, just a bunch of random junk in this box right now because we've been fishing, but cull tags, scale, scissors, pliers, whatever you need, that stays in here along with the plastics. And then we have the giant, literally giant, like I could get up in there and take a nap if I wanted to, storage space up in the front. I've got a Wegmans basket here, which thanks to my mom I acquired. I keep all of my Plano boxes in here. Just everything can stand straight up. It's perfect. I mean, that's 2, 4, 6, 7 boxes. I have a few more up there. And then life jackets. You can, I mean, I obviously have a lot more space up there too, where I can keep things, but I mean, that's just kind of how I'm running it right now. We also have the 2 batteries up here. These are Walmart batteries, EverStart 29 DCs. I think they're, how much? They weighed like 95 pounds each, right?
Yeah, they're pretty heavy, but they're good batteries for the price, and they come with a good warranty. It's not the best battery out there, but for, you know, just what you're doing, trying to keep it cheap and make it awesome, it's a great battery to get your job done. So we did battery trays on either side. The reason is to distribute the weight. Matt has a nice wide boat here, and it would be a shame to have all the weight hanging on this side or that side. So one of the benefits of the 24-volt system is that you don't have only one battery over here or one battery over there. You can have one on each side. So you have additional speed, but it's also nice and even. Yeah, we reinforced the bottom of this too for walking on. These are big open spaces, and there's no side support here. So you see we put in supports. That's important. If you guys are going to be doing your own John boats, you want to make sure to reinforce the deck underneath enough.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is so sturdy. A truck could run through this John boat. The John boat would probably be trash, and the deck would be like pristine. You wouldn't even tell that the truck ran through it. But I gotta say, one of my favorite things about this boat is how wide it is and just how big this front deck is. We've fished 3 people out of this boat multiple times on the trip, and since I've been home. And I mean, it's a 14-foot boat. How comfortable can you really be with 3 people? But it's not that bad.
So I have a 17-foot boat, and I would say this is easily as stable, if not more stable. The additional width it makes it feel like a huge boat, even though it's only 14 foot long. Like, if I were to do it all over again, I would go with the shorter boat because it's lighter and you can go faster, and have it be wider because you get the stability that, you know, I feel like when I'm on this side and Matt's over there and we're walking around, I don't even notice it, you know what I mean? It's awesome having this wide boat.
I have a Bird 899, which actually I believe is discontinued, and that's something a lot of you guys ask me about, is what graph I have. I actually got it on sale for like 500 bucks 3 years ago. You could probably still find them on eBay or some other marine sites that have them. It's a good like entry level with side imaging, down imaging, and the regular, is it sonar? Not sonar. It's everything you need. It's not the top of the line, it's not the greatest, but it definitely gets the job done.
I like that you kept it simple. Honestly,
yeah.
I thought that you should have filled it out at first. I was like, man, I feel like there's some things I would put in here. You know what I mean? Like, you know, maybe electrical panels, cut in, you know, that kind of stuff. But honestly, keeping it simple has been, I mean, just fishing out with you today, I'm like, wow, this is great. Because I had all my tackle right there. I had my rods laid over. You had your rods on this side. I didn't feel like at all like it was restrictive. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like there's a ton of space to walk around. If you need to come back here, I need to go up there, we could walk past each other. I felt like keeping it just open like this is the way to go. I see a lot of guys with like the rocker panels built out and having like a, you know, something for their gold rule and all this extra stuff on the side. And while 100% nice, I feel like this open space is kind of, it's a little bit of magic just having it open like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this is a ton of space here, which actually helps a lot, especially for the tournaments Ace and I fish, because we use this giant 100-quart igloo cooler. So that takes up probably half of that, but then when Ace puts his tackle in the boat, and then we have, you know, another cooler for lunch and just everything else we need, it's nice to have this open space. And again, like, Matty easily could have built a deck on the back here, which, you know, in the future maybe we'll do. Maybe we could fill it out over the gas can and the battery. But even that is enough space to stand on, in my opinion. And you fished back there all day.
I didn't even feel like, it's so funny because on my deck, extended my deck by 24 inches of my original deck, and I thought, oh yeah, bigger's better, you know. And then after fishing on this, I'm like, man, when I think about it on my deck, if I look, just the trolling motor pedal and then little section right next to it is worn from me walking around and being right there the whole time.
Yeah.
The same thing with this. You don't need a ton of space, you know what I mean?
Right.
This was plenty. I didn't even notice that it was small. Like, didn't even occur to me.
Yeah, and that's literally just the back bench carpeted over. And that's almost pretty much it as far as the deck goes. This back we kept completely open. Gas can, small battery to start the motor up, which again, don't even 100% need, but it's definitely nice. That's probably one of my favorite things about this motor is that electric start. It's so bougie, but it's so amazing. I can't tell you how nice it is just to be able to sit down and just be like, boop, hit that button, and you're good to go. It's amazing. Also, this is a Mercury 9.9. It pushes us about 17-ish miles an hour. Like by myself, actually, with another person, it's probably closer to 14, 15. A lot of you guys have been asking about the leak in the boat and if I fixed it, if I found out what it is. The answer is no. We have not figured out exactly where the leak is coming from. And basically we have a bilge pump and just bilge it out every hour or so. But it was definitely not Lowe's fault. It was definitely me. I don't know what I did, but there's definitely a hole or a leak in like a rivet, something small. It's something very small.
That I did when I was working on it somewhere.
It wasn't even Matt. It was probably me when he was letting me do something in the boat. But yeah, definitely not Lowe's fault. It had to have been mine, like no doubt. But that's kind of the risk you take when you are going to fabricate one of these JON boats. So you need to keep that risk in mind. And it happens. You know, it is an aluminum boat, which you can generally beat the crap out of, and it's I personally love fishing out of a JON boat for that aspect, and even if I had a fiberglass boat, which I'm really glad that I don't because I'm so rough on everything, you can just go out, have fun, fish, and not worry about it. It's easy to clean up, which you can kind of tell I don't do too much of. I mean, there's still rocks in here from Wyoming when James and I were stuck in the dirt. I vacuumed it, it just won't come out. No, but overall, like, this boat is my dream boat. It's so much fun to fish out of. You can fish 3 people out of it. It's comfortable, it's safe, it's super stable.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
I mean,
very stable.
You can fish 3 people out of this boat and not feel uncomfortable. For a 14-foot boat, there's not many out there that I personally think that you can say that about.
No, 100%. And like a lot of guys, they'll buy the older, like you're saying, 32, 36-inch kind of boats, and then expect them to go out there and put a deck on it and be stable and be able to still move quickly and stuff like that. And it's kind of you're not going to reach that stability of bass boat, and I always think that about JON boat. Like, you're never going to reach that stability of bass boat. This 14-footer is stable as a bass boat. I would honestly say, like, it's rock solid. It blows my mind to even think that, because there's not that much weight from the extra sheet added or anything like that. It's not like this thing's overly heavy sitting deep down in the water, but it's just how wide it is, and it just is fantastic.
And then even on the really big lakes and rivers that we fished, obviously you need to pick your day. You don't want to go out when the wind's blowing 25, but who really wants to be out fishing when the wind's blowing 25 anyway? No. Like, unless you're fishing a tournament and you have to be out, or the bite's really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just tough. It's tough on anything. Obviously, it starts getting a little bit unsafe in this, but we were out on a couple different big lakes when the winds were 15 to 20, and we kind of got into some coves and still caught fish. And when we made our run back to the ramp, it was, you just got to go a little bit slower and just take your time with it and don't push your limits. But
yeah, 100%.
It's totally safe. And I would recommend a boat like this to anyone, especially if, you're looking for a boat, you don't have enough money maybe for like some super expensive fancy bass boat. This can do everything that bass boat can do, and it's a fraction of the cost. Do you think of anything else we need to throw in here?
No, I think that's it.
I think we covered quite a bit.
Yeah, I think finally got the JON boat tour.
Finally got the JON boat tour.
Yep.
I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you need a deck or anything, metal fabrication, anything like that done, hit this man up. I'm gonna leave a link for his Facebook page down in the description below. Hit him up if you need a beautiful JON boat build done. This is the man.
I got you guys.
Yeah. Thanks again for watching this video. Really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for me. We're coming up on 100K.
Almost
close.
there. Almost at 100.
Almost at a hundo.
I can't wait.
It's crazy. I can't wait either. See you guys on the next one.